they presented their ruling. It is well, as we understand it, it's well within the written document to go ahead with this project. And please,
might I add a little bit to that answer? Because you're clearly not satisfied with it. But let me go forward on the market side of it. You'll see later in that letter that I did refer to condominium portions of the later development over at Kennedy Place as a more appropriate environment for families because we have more room there. We have more space to deliver more square footage and larger units that would be more conducive to young families.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, we're sitting here tonight, we're not being able to ask questions that I think should be asked with appropriate answers. And I just feel that that's wrong on your part. Okay.
You have the right to ask a question, but we keep hammering away. It becomes an issue that's very redundant, because I have been saying right along that we are going to continue this ad hoc committee, and that in the future we will come back together again when the construction is completed, at the same time when we've had a chance to visit the structure and to sit down and really get a good idea of what we're all about. And so in that light, I'm going to ask for a motion. I'm going to ask for a motion to continue this ad hoc meeting in for the near future. And at that time, when any of us have questions, when we go to this public hearing, or if you want to formulate more questions or go to the corporate council, you have that right. But in all due fairness, Councilman Visconti, we have had a more than fair number of questions directed toward Mr. Bertram, our corporate counsel, and you know, that's it. So I'm going to ask that, could we have a motion on the floor to continue this ad hoc meeting to...
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, then, I'll make a motion to continue this ad hoc. It's time to evaluate the information given to us, to attend the public open house, and going forward, monitor the progress and success of the project.
Do we have a second? I will second that motion. Do we have any questions on the committee yet? This is strictly on Councilwoman Tabarsak. You're out of the question. Thank you. At this time. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Point of order. Through the chair, the Corporation Council and ex officio members participate in debate on motions.
Not what's made simple.
Okay, there'll be a point of order.
I was, my understanding that, and I'm going to hold to it as the chair of this meeting, when there is a vote and there's a motion made and a second, the only people that will discuss that issue is the committee. Therefore, is there any discussion?
Point of order, Mr. Corporation Counsel. There is a point of order, Mr. Lane. I simply want to know if you are continuing the meeting because you feel that enough questions have been asked already. I'm asking why you're continuing the meeting and not allowing more discussion.
We've had how many times do we, excuse me, first of all, the issue comes down to Councilwoman Tabarsak. At this time, I'm going to tell you one more time. That is it. You are not involved in this.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it. Any questions? Okay, all in favor of the motion to continue this ad hoc committee at a future date? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All that might be against?
Not mine, I am.
Good. Okay, the motion passes, and we will continue this later on.
So there'll be another
Motion to
opportunity.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second.
Lynn, the amount will be $1.2 million, but you adjust inflation, you adjust for value of the property, you adjust for no increase,
That's it. Okay, there you have it. You see it for yourself. You will be able to see the entire episode, that's what I call it, this Saturday at 7 p.m. And if you miss it this Saturday, you'll be able to see it Tuesday at 11 a.m., Channel 23, right here on Channel 23 on Danbury Live. Now, what we're going to do, before we attack this issue, Mighty Heiser is on the line. We're going to talk to him, and then we're going to discuss what went on in that meeting. This is unbelievable, and this is the reason why we need to broadcast common council meetings so people will be able to see exactly their government at work. Mr. Heiser. Mr. Heiser?
I'm on that line.
Mr. Heiser?
Hello,
Yes. Is this Mr. Heiser?
this is Ms. Heiser. Yes, I have State Senator Judith Friedman here,
Okay, good.
and she's ready to answer a few questions about the state budget. So here's Senator Friedman.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, hello.
How you doing? You are on Ideas at Work and Beyond. It's,
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Okay, you are on Ideas at Work and Beyond. It's a live TV show here in Danbury.
And I'm your state senator, Judy Friedman. I represent Richfield, and any questions about the budget, I'll be very happy to answer.
Okay, good. We will start with Ms. Lena Brentis. She's running for mayor here in Danbury. Okay, go ahead.
Do you have a budget all set in Ridgefield?
No, I'm in the state senate. The state budget, we do not have a state budget yet because there are three budgets on the table: the governor's budget, the Republican budget, and the Democrat budget. And as of this point, there's been no negotiation to come up with a state budget. And we have 13 days left to get it done.
How many times do you plan on meeting? Will you be meeting?
We're in session until June 6th.
And you'll be there all day trying to hammer something out?
Well, we're trying to get it all done before the 6th of June, which is our constitutional deadline. And unfortunately, I have a feeling it will not get done on time.
Okay,
Only because the parties are not working together.
Senator, go ahead, Paul.
Well, I was just wondering, at the moment, is there a budget you're more supportive of the three?
That's what I was going to ask.
Of the three, I would support the Republican budget. Obviously, I'm a Republican. I don't want to see taxes increase. There's a way of budgeting and coming through with the needs of the people of the state of Connecticut without breaking the constitutional cap, without increasing anybody's taxes.
So the budget proposed by Representative
I think that's the
Cafaro.
bottom line.
Okay, go ahead.
So the budget proposed by Representative Cafaro is the one you support, correct?
That's right. That's the Republican. And the Senate and the House Republicans are on the same page on that.
I take it you don't support the
Not
budget proposed by...
Representative Cafaro, it's everybody.
Okay.
Larry wrote it.
Well, Ms. Tabasak, you have any questions for the lady?
Not really.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Sure.
We have a mayor here in Danbury who pretty much tried to fund local
The budget operations.
right, using the governor's budget. And however, we've seen that you don't want to raise taxes, you're trying to cut taxes, but this mayor is Republican. Do you think that he's out of touch with the state Republicans?
Oh, absolutely not. I think he's right in touch with the state Republicans. I think what he's done in Danbury, when I look around and see what's going on in a lot of places, he's providing the services that Danbury needs, and I think the people of Danbury should be very happy that he's their mayor right now.
Okay, but you didn't get my question.
Better job than any other first selectman who's raised their budget by 6 to 10%.
Okay, ma'am, you didn't get my question. My question is this. How would he support...
What would he support? Which one of the budgets?
Okay, the mayors right now
Right.
have things that he want to do for the city.
Right,
And those things are based on the mayor's, on the governor's budget.
right.
And the governor's budget is dead.
Original budget.
No, the governor's budget is not
Originally it's
dead. I
dead.
think
Originally
the
it's dead.
educational cost-sharing part of it will probably end up being a compromise, and I suspect that Danbury will do very well in the long run.
Okay, ma'am, the question is this. Do you think the mayor is out of touch with the state Republicans, given that you trying to decrease taxes, okay, cut taxes?
No, we're not trying to cut taxes.
So what are you trying to
Holding
do?
the line on taxes. We have enough state revenue coming in from the taxes we're currently collecting, and no, the mayor is not out of touch with the Connecticut Republicans, and he's not out of touch, more importantly, with the people of Danbury. I think that's the most important thing you have to remember. He knows what the people of Danbury want, and he will work around that.
So you're going to make sure that from the state you will give him what he needs for this city?
Everything put together, I can't guarantee that everybody's going to get what they want from the state of Connecticut, but certainly a city like Danbury will be a beneficiary in the long run, I believe. And I think Mayor Boughton has been on top of it from day one.
Okay, well, thank you very much, okay? And good
You're
luck.
welcome. You want to talk to my buddy here?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much,
Hey, Marty.
Senator Friedman. All right, that's my report from the Prescott Bush Dinner in Stamford, Connecticut.
All right, call back. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay.
Ivan, I got a question for you based on that discussion
No,
right now.
wait, wait,
no,
wait,
very
wait,
important.
wait, hold
Before you
on,
go
hold
much
on.
further, can you tell me the three numbers, what Danbury will get under the Republicans' budget, what it will get under Jody Rell's budget, and what it will get under the Democrats' budget? Can you tell me those three numbers?
I don't know.
Okay.
But all I know is right now, we don't know because nothing has been negotiated.
Okay, well,
So
then if
know.
you don't know, if you don't know,
it's baseless.
No, it's not baseless because
right
you're
now-
going after the mayor for basing it on the governor's budget, and you don't know what number Danbury's going to get under the governor's budget. You don't know. You don't know.
He doesn't know. The fact that he doesn't know, it is irresponsible for him to base his budget based on the
You don't
governor's
know.
budget.
You don't know.
And he doesn't know.
He
doesn't know.
And let me tell you.
So nobody knows.
Yes. Wait a minute. Wait a
And
minute.
the fact that he was a state
Wait a minute.
rep,
I'm going to
he
explain
should
to
have
you. I'm
known
going to
that.
explain to you what is
Okay.
known. What is known. I'm going to tell you what is known.
Okay,
If you
hold
look, if you boil down the 169 towns, what is known is that Danbury gets almost the same thing under Jody's budget that it would get under the Republicans' budget, that it would get under the Democrats' budget. That's one of the cities, if you look at them, Danbury, Bridgeport, Waterbury, New Haven, New Britain, they're getting almost the same thing under all three budgets. It's the small towns that are getting something disproportionate with the three budgets.
You're talking simple state aid.
So yes, so the state aid that Danbury's going to get under Jody's budget is not all that different from the state aid they're going to get under the Democrats' budget. And it's not all that different than the state aid that they
And
would
is
get
that
under the
enough to
Republicans' budget.
support his initiative?
It doesn't matter. You're
Is that
attacking him for
do you
using governor's
think it's
number.
enough to support his initiative?
I have no idea.
Okay, listen, we have to stop. We have to stop right now. Let's go to the Danbury taxpayers. I would like to ask you, ma'am, who is running for mayor of Danbury, what are you going to do with the BRT problem here in Danbury?
Okay.
What is
first
the
of all-
BRT problem?
Okay, first of all, let me just tell you, at an ad hoc committee meeting, there is a certain issue that's discussed. The issue that was presented to that ad hoc committee was a 7-year tax deferral. It had nothing to do with dormitories. It had nothing to do with WestCon. It had to do with a 7-year tax deferral. That is the only thing that should have been discussed in that meeting. When everyone went into that meeting, BRT was there. They were allowed to do a 10-minute presentation, which actually took a little bit longer than that slide presentation, which had nothing to do with the 7-year tax deferral. Because the issue is not WestCon. The WestCon students are wonderful. If we can afford them the opportunity for dormitories, that is wonderful. The issue is not that. If we can, give it to them. The issue is the 7-year tax deferral, and that was not allowed to be discussed in this ad hoc committee meeting because council members were cut off when they asked that question, and they were told they had to present it in a different manner at a different type of an ad hoc committee meeting.
Let me
now,
ask you something.
When I was on the council for 7 years, okay, almost 7 years, I remember that if there was an issue on an agreement, or at least it was discussed during the time of our ad hoc committee meeting, and it was presented, and if changes had to be made, changes were made at that point. So I'm a little confused as to how this meeting went forward.
Let me ask you in Len Tabersack this question. How much money will BRT make from the students?
Oh, a lot.
Like
They'll make
how
a lot.
much?
Well, you
How
have,
much in a year?
you have to understand,
About
Ivan,
$2 million, like $2 million a year?
over $2 million a
Okay, now-
year
okay.
in rental.
In
payments from
rental, okay,
students.
now, how much money will the city collect in taxes from BRT?
You have to say that the city will not collect $1.2 million
But how
in
much-
taxes.
so-
No, they won't collect it because it's being deferred
So
for
they will
7
collect what,
years.
zero?
No,
Zero.
they'll
No, they're
collect
collecting it on the property.
On the property, how much will they
Value.
collect on the property?
not very much.
About in the
About
thousands?
25,000.
So 25,000 on the property, but yet they are going to get a couple of $1 million
In
from
rent.
the, right, in rent from the students.
And a
Now,
$1.2
in the
million
problem-
tax
In the
deferral.
problem it will create from having these students downtown, increasing police activities downtown, okay? And you know what's going to happen when you have college students downtown, okay? So
What?
it's going to be a burden on the infrastructure, okay, right here in downtown Danbury, but yet we're only going to get about $20,000 a year based on the property.
We would get that
That's it.
anyway.
Now,
That would come in. The
Mr.
difference
Brentis,
is the
okay.
value of the building, the personal property that
Mr.
went up.
Brentis, what are you going to do to fix this problem?
The problem already exists. It's been given to them.
So what will you do?
There's not much that anyone can do. They've been granted that 7-year tax
If there is
deferral.
not much that anyone can do, why are we talking about this?
Because it should never have happened, it can never happen again, and the statutes and the ordinances have to be changed so this is not allowed once again.
Well-
We have people such as Nolans, we have people such as the Hawleys, the De Silvas, etc., who have done developments downtown. We've never given them a 7-year tax deferral, and they've done those developments and they've done positive things in our community. We have given tax deferrals to GE Capital when they brought in over 200 jobs. We've given tax deferrals to Ascendant Mobility. We've given tax deferrals to many other corporations when they brought in companies. Those people go out, they spend money in our restaurants, they stay in our hotels, they are bringing people from other states here. I just met 2 people when I went out to dinner on Monday for my anniversary who were here from California for GE Capital.
So what? Okay, you know what? Let me take this call. Caller, you're in the air.
Hi, how are you today?
Good, thank you. Mr. Robinson, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. A couple of things about the CRT ad hoc committee that I saw when I attended the meeting. One of the problems that a lot of people have is that this particular development was proposed towards the city as something where young adults can go down and it was something that will bring young adults down to the area. Next thing you know, the purpose of this development is changing to something that's basically a dormitory. I had some concerns about that, and it seems like the ad hoc committee was formed based upon those concerns. Now, it was based on my understanding of what I saw at the meeting. The people who were supporting of the development were able to put on a PowerPoint slide presentation and talk about a lot of things that had nothing really to do with the purpose of the ad hoc committee. And the people who had concerns about the development weren't able to express their opinions or get any questions answered. And I just wanted to find out from Lynn and from Helena, who were also at the meeting, what they felt about that.
Okay, thank you.
Let me answer that, Ivan, very simply. The 7 Democratic members of the council petitioned for this ad hoc committee, and what we wanted, what we asked for, was to rescind the tax deferral. That's what the purpose of the meeting.
And it didn't happen.
No, what they did was they allowed the developer to make a presentation to show how wonderful the development was. Now, wait a minute, I want to finish. What happened was Dan Bertram came to the council, the previous council in 2005, requesting a tax deferral for 7 years. He offered to turn this blighted property into a 115-unit apartment building for young professionals like Paul Trippy and like Matt Grimes, and for some empty nesters. And these people would come and live in our urban center with their disposable income, and they would spend it there. That was in 2005. In 2006, subsequently, he made an offer to WestCon instead. And that was, instead of empty nesters and young professionals, to have that 115-unit apartment building filled with students for 9 months of the year, and students paying between $6,650 and $7,500 for rent of those properties. And the 45 studio apartments, one room will have 2 students. The one-bedroom apartments will have 3 students. 2 of the students in bunk beds. The 2-bedroom units, there's only 24, will have 4 students. So he doubled his occupancy, he doubled his income, and he gets the tax deferral. And he laughs all the way to the bank.
Now let me ask you this: when did he?
That's why we wanted to rescind the deferral. It is bait and switch.
Okay, when
we
did he
offered
ask
to
City Hall to give him that tax?
In 2005.
And what did the Democrats do? Did you make enough noise to make
It was the previous council, Ivan, and I believe that Tom Sadi, who is now the minority leader, voted against it. I believe he was the only person to vote against the deferral. But I would have voted for it to bring young professionals and empty nesters downtown with this, not for
Now you see the problem I
dormitory.
have with the Democrats?
What? They have no...
When it's all in done, they want to make noise. While the process was going on, they said nothing.
I wasn't
That's
on the
not quite
council,
fair,
that's
Ivan. I
not
mean,
fair.
you know, back then, the proposal that was supported at the time was a good proposal for the city of Danbury to rebuild the urban core.
Yes.
It's been bastardized since, and being in the minority, they can't do a damn thing about it.
But they should rally their constituents
And
to
they're-
stop it.
they're attempting to now.
They're
Maybe
not doing
the
that. They're
backbone-
doing that now, but it's too late because
Somebody's got to do
But
that.
Al, but,
I don't know, there's
but
another-
the paper didn't report on it, the public couldn't speak. How can we rally troops
Okay, hold
if
on for a
it's
second.
secret?
Hold on for a second. Hey, Al,
Ivan, one second of your time, because the importance of the importance of the ad hoc committee was this: what was sold in 2005 is not reality in 2007. Now we basically have a dormitory that's going against the spirit of why this tax deferral was given in the first place.
yes, we heard that.
The ad hoc committee was, that's why the creation of the ad hoc committee.
Al, my concern is this: where were the Democrats when this guy was going around City Hall trying to change what he originally said he was going to do?
He didn't go to
Ivan,
City Hall.
again, you're dealing with a minority where the Republicans outnumber the Democrats 2 to 1. There
But what
really
about your
isn't much-
constituents? Go to the constituents. Go to the papers. News Time has an obligation to report the news to the people. If they're not doing that, then what are we doing to challenge them? Okay, by the way, hold on. Al has a blog. And I would love for you guys to visit his blog. You can go to my blog and click on his blog. It's hotcityblog.com, right?
HatCityBlog.blogspot.com, or you can just do a simple Google search for Hat.
Hot City Blog, and then people can read all about that. But, you know, I have a lot of calls coming in, but go ahead and wrap up with your
A real
statement,
fast thing, and I'll be real quick. This is, again, a situation where if the public really wants to be involved, they have to be more active in coming down to these meetings, or at the very least, support the people who are taking a lot of their time to broadcast these meetings. We need to have these meetings broadcast. If you would be able to watch what happened at this particular ad hoc committee, you might be pretty much outraged, because it was the most bizarre ad hoc committee I have ever attended or I've ever seen.
Okay, that's true.
Got that to the parade ordinance, the Common Council parade ordinance debate, where the mayor did something pretty bizarre.
Illegal votes.
We broadcast out there in the public, and I think that's why we need to get these meetings on the government public access.
Okay, good. All right, Al, thank you very much.
Him you
okay?
keep on the phone, Frankie,
Okay,
hang
Al,
up
all
on
right.
him.
Al,
Thank you.
but let me just say this
Go
really
ahead.
quick. With regards to the TV coverage, this started when I was the city clerk. Diane Eppinger presented a
Cable
letter
Advisory Chair.
to the Cable Advisory, presented a letter to the council, and he gave me the letter and asked me to look into purchasing equipment, and I did. I contacted David
Where
King.
are-
We got
where are those
some.
equipments?
I have no idea,
been-
but
they've
I
been
started
You
it
gotta
when
tell
I
me
was
that you
city
purchased
clerk.
equipment,
No, no,
okay?
no. I looked into the cost
okay,
of
all right.
purchasing the equipment.
Okay, we have a call. Caller, you're in the air. Caller?
Hello,
Yes, go ahead.
it's Karen Schultz here. I'm looking at you on the TV set right now.
Oh, how you doing?
Hi,
Good, how
Karen.
you
Can you
doing?
turn your
thank
TV
you.
down, please? Can you turn your TV down,
Okay,
please?
sure.
Thank you.
Hold on. Turn it down. Yeah, you there?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just over my friend Lisa's house and just listening to your conversation about
Thank you.
stuff for Danbury.
Yes.
And the one thing my friend of mine was just talking about was the low-income housing and stuff. And you know how they were talking about and parks and stuff for the young children. I know how they took it down the Lions Park place and put all kinds of parking garages there. How about having some young parks for children so they're not out on all the streets?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Well, and I also wish the young lady there very good luck in mayor. Lynn Tavisak knows me very well.
Okay.
It's always good to see you guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you. And let me tell you this, if you support her, get five other people to support her too, all right? Thank you.
Lynn Tavisak, if you see me around town, I'm 4'4", blonde hair, blue eyes. Lynn knows me very well, so...
All right, thank you very much. I'm a happy married man, and I'll see you later.
Hey, take care.
All right.
Somebody else
Okay, we got another call. Caller, you're in the air.
They have a place for young people to hang out. It's called the Bowling Alley by the lake, and they have Rogers Park. Lynn, I'm adding up all the numbers of all the new students, and I just realized it'd be an excellent place for a package store, convenience store, in that shopping area. And that new student area at the RT. I've known Dan Bertram since he's 13 years old. He's a cool guy. He knows what he's doing. We're going to have new stores opening up because of that. Because of the students being downtown, it's going to be
but you know, college students are broke students, so
You're paying for it, sweetheart.
Listen, we have 5 more minutes
I'm
left.
across the border over here safe.
Okay, I want to say something very important.
Food store.
Okay.
I want to say something very important here because I don't know a lot about the BRT development project, and I don't know what happened at the ad hoc committee meeting, and frankly, I don't want to know. But you know what? One of the things I do know about the BRT project is that the state university board of trustees and the WestCon board of trustees think they're looking to gift horse in the mouth. They think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
But I understand
that's not the issue.
The issue is this. I understand that. I want the public to know something.
Aren't you supportive of WestCon? Don't you like WestCon? Don't you like WestCon?
I do. But this is about trust. This is about you looking at me in the eye and say, I'm going to do this, and then change your mind because of greed. That's exactly
It's about the
what
violation
happened.
of the spirit of an agreement.
Thank you. Say that again?
It's a violation of the spirit of an agreement.
It's a violation of the spirit of agreement.
While it might meet black letter law, it is wrong.
Why does the State University Board of Trustees not see it that way?
They didn't vote on it. This is not a state university residence. It's a private residence.
Yeah, but the State University Board of Trustees is
sanctioning
up Main Street.
But you know what? It is to their advantage. Of course they will do that.
No,
why not?
The BRT development will have 324 students in it. That's great. They're going to close Fairfield Hall so they can renovate it.
Right.
So it doesn't address the housing shortage.
Okay.
This is a freebie.
All right. Caller, you in the air.
Hi, how are you today?
Good, thank you.
My question is myself as a private citizen, if I were to do improvements on my home, I would have to pay money for permits. I would have to get a CO, and my taxes would go up immediately.
Thank you.
It would go up absolutely immediately. I'm not making any money on my home. My husband works very hard for his money, yet this man comes into town and breaks the spirit of the agreement. He breaks his agreement, and he gets a 7-year deferral.
Exactly.
So, why is the public not involved in this? Somebody said, the News Times has an obligation to report it. They're not going to be reporting it if it's not brought to their attention.
It has been brought to their attention. That's the sad part, and they are not covering the issues that are going on the way they should. They should have been present at that meeting so that they could really comment on what happened. We used to have a reporter at the council meetings who would report everything, and if Gene was wrong, they attacked Gene. If Gene was right,
Can you make a promise to me?
they supported Gene.
Can you make a promise to me? Can you make a promise? When you become mayor,
I want the media there.
You will call the News Times and have them in your
office.
You
force the News Times. You can't force the News Times to do something like that.
But you will call them.
But they're aware of the meetings, correct? They're aware of the meetings.
Real quick, I want to say this. Myself and John Numella, we are volunteers broadcasting these meetings at City Hall every Saturday at 7 p.m. and Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Okay? We're not getting paid for this. All we want is for City Hall to buy the equipment, okay, and let it be aired on channel 24 so you can see that stuff live. Okay, Mayor Barton, promised to do this by the end of March, early April. We're going in June now. We haven't heard anything. We haven't seen anything.
And you won't
Okay?
until after election day.
And I will tell you this, okay? I am so upset right now because the Democrats, they are just now raising hell. Where have they been all along? Okay? Now we have Mr. Brentis here who is going to change things.
She ain't on the council.
Okay? Now, this is what I want. I have a blog. I want you to visit my blog. And what I want you to do is this. Where if there's an issue that is not being addressed, write it down, email it to me, and I will put it on the blog for people to see.
The problem is that you don't realize the power of the word of mouth. I've got a big mouth.
Exactly.
If I knew what was happening, I would let everybody know what was happening, and we could rally the troops. We could put it on the taxpayers of the city of Danbury, because if it was put on the taxpayers of the city of Danbury, this would never have been approved.
Thank you.
I'm not paying my taxes to put money in somebody else's pocket.
Thank you.
Okay, true.
Okay.
The whole issue, the important issue
All right,
on
Colin.
this has nothing to do with the building itself. The whole issue of this it's an agreement that was entered into for a 7-year tax deferral to
understand.
build
Right.
apartments.
Right. Like you said,
downtown.
it's
It
a
had,
spirit.
it had nothing to do with changing it to a dorm. I mean, if that's what we need, then we can support it, fine. I don't want people to think that we're against the school system or anything else. That
No,
is not
they-
the issue
they
here.
lied to us.
It's the tax deferral
Right.
itself.
And I think it's important to say that. I don't
Okay, we
think,
have
I
one
don't
minute.
think
We have 1 minute. I'll
it would
let you
be,
say-
it would
go
be
ahead.
right to end the show without saying that, you know, BRT shouldn't necessarily be penalized for running a good
True.
business. They have
True.
been in the past. They're a good family. They're a good company.
We should penalize
They've been
our
good corporate
elected
citizens.
officials.
This is a criticism of the
Do it at the
city
ballot box
and the
then.
current
Yes.
leadership of the
Yes.
city, and not that
Exactly.
corporation or the family.
Okay, what I want, okay, we have 1 minute. I would like to say this. Next week's, I'm sorry, if you want someone to see the show again, this show will be re-aired tomorrow at 12 noon, okay? Next week is the first selectman from Richfield. He will be on the show. And also, please go to my blog, because if there are any issues you want to discuss, just write it down, email it to me, and I will put it on the blog. I want to say thank you very much for all of you. And, well, they're telling me that the show is over. Bye-bye. I don't know what else to say.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. Happy birthday.
And the
happy
war.
24th anniversary. And the war, I don't know what to say. And the Democrats and the Republicans, I'll tell you what, these people need to get out of office this election year, because they have failed us. Put new people in there, okay? New mayor, new councilwoman, councilman, whatever it is. Get rid of them. Thank you.